Well, for those of you that ever wonder, what does Joe drive? I mean, he works on these things every single day, and I drive just about every G Wagon. It ain't PETA. There you go, folks. Yes, it's a 463A. It's a 21. It's a little bit unique. This is not a G500, a G550, or a G63. This is actually a G400. This is available over in Germany. This is a turbo diesel. That's right, it's a diesel. In the US, it's a G400. This is kind of a cool truck. I really like this truck. And the reason we decided to go with this as our shop truck is we would be remiss if we did not embrace the new platform. We're everything G Wagon, whether it be old, new, whether you have a 460, 461, 463, or 463A. We want to know everything about it. It's not stock. It does have lift springs on it. We are running larger tires. We have Hutchison bead locks on it. And you'll notice it's spec'd without running boards because, come on, factory running boards suck. We also spec'd it without a sunroof because I don't like them. Cool. Now, other little things that have been done to the truck, aside from it's a G400, it's a turbo diesel. We also just got done doing a turbocharger upgrade to it. So it went from 330 horsepower to it has the potential for 480 horsepower out of a turbo diesel. Kind of cool. You'll notice we have a Gobi roof rack on this. This truck was actually used as the prototype truck for Gobi racks. Gobi is down south of us by about an hour, and they reached out to us and said, hey, we know you do this. We need to create a rack system for the new 463A truck. Can we use yours? So I said, absolutely, I want to play. So that was super cool. And Baja Designs came to play as well. They hooked us up with a full set of lights to make sure the whole system worked out great. So this has the first Gobi rack ever on a 463A. And what's kind of cool is it's a no drill system. In other words, we don't have to cut holes and modify anything. So that part's really cool. Aside from that, the rest of the truck is pretty stock. We're still going through some upgrades on it. We do have a Switch Pros unit that controls all of our accessory lights. It's actually underneath the battery, underneath this. We use it as a parts truck, so it's always hauling parts. We have not done anything with the back bumper or special tire carrier, so we have the factory tire carrier supporting a Hutchison wheel and tire combo. It is insanely heavy, and no, the door hasn't ripped off yet, so we'll play around with that one some more. But aside from that, it looks pretty plain. Only other thing you're going to notice is you don't put gas in there. You put diesel and you put your DEF fluid. And for those of you asking, yes, this truck is titled in the US. Yes, it does pass emissions. This is a Euro 6 truck, meaning it takes DEF fluid, has all the usual stuff, and is fully emissions compliant. It is silent going down the road. It is clean going down the road. We don't have any smoke, hardly any emissions. You don't smell it, you don't see it, and no one is the wiser. And to answer the question that everyone's gonna ask, what kind of fuel economy do you get out of this? Being as it's a diesel. Well, I'll tell you. Around town, I get about 18 to 19 miles per gallon. Not too bad. On the freeway, I get high 20s. Before we did the tires in the lift, we could touch 30 if we decided to like really play nice. But anyway, out of a G Wagon, that's kind of unheard of. It's kind of cool. Overall, I really like the truck. Again, it's different. I've had all the G Wagons. I have a 461 also. I have a Cabriolet. I have some other late model ones. This is our daily driver. We need to understand this platform because we have a lot of clients that do have these and ultimately want to play with these also. So that's why we have this as a way of kind of forward thinking, getting in front of it and understanding how these works and what the quirks are so we can help you out. For those of you that have not seen the inside of the new Gs, here you go. I'm sure you've seen a lot of commercials with them, but just want to highlight a few things on this. Again, this is not highly spec'd up. We have base seats, no sunroof. The only other modification you'll see is we have our Switch Pros touch panel up here, which controls all of our lights on our rack. We're also adding onboard air, a Wii Boost. There's something else I'm forgetting. Anyway, one of the things I will say though that Mercedes did address, it was a major complaint, particularly for the US market, is cup holders. So on this one, we've got 2. How awesome is that? And for those of y'all with your big dumb cups, you can put them in your doors. How thoughtful. I thought so. All right, let's hop in, go for a drive so you know what it's like to drive a G400 turbo diesel. One of the key things I will say that I do enjoy about this truck is the driving experience in this is a lot different than your G550s and your G63. Mainly meaning that these are very quiet going down the road. We don't have a lot of road noise. We don't have that guttural experience. It's very serene. Okie doke. Take on a quick drive. Normally when you're driving a G Wagon that's gasoline powered, you get that guttural, the very baritone exhaust note. You don't have that with this. It's very quiet, which I have actually come to appreciate. I do have the off-road trucks that make all the noise and all the drama, but this one is very, at the end of the day, relaxing. Sometimes when you don't get home until 8 or 9 o'clock at night and you've had a long day and you're exhausted from interacting with other people and you're just looking for the end of the day, this is it. It cruises nicely, it's seamless, almost electric in the way that it just goes. The torque feel is quite nice. The key thing with this is it's got a 9-speed transmission, not the old 7-speed. So it's always in the right gear. It is a straight 6-cylinder. It's 2.9 liters of diesel power. This is a relative sibling to the OM 640 or 654 motor that's in the Sprinter. It's a little 4-cylinder motor. This is a 6-cylinder version. So a lot of the parts do cross over, which is kind of nice. But anything really special we do have to source from Germany to keep this thing up and running. So a little bit of complexity there. This is a case though, if you really want something special and you want something that's not necessarily available in the US, we know how to make that happen for you. If you want a G400 turbo diesel or something along this lines or professional series, they are available overseas. They're available in Germany, the UK, a lot of other places. We can get those, bring them in, get them titled and legalized for you so you can enjoy it in your neck of the woods. All right, so one of the cool things about this truck is it's effortless and easy to go down the road. Ergonomics are really nice. If you're a tall guy, it fits you a little bit better versus the older trucks. You do have to do seat extenders. On-road drivability and daily driving, this truck is amazing. One of the things I will say is I don't think it's quite as robust for off-road use, meaning having pulled the fender liners out, having pulled the suspension apart, having been all over this truck. We actually 3D scanned the whole underside. It's definitely not as strong. The material is a lot thinner. There's a lot more flex points. The control arms are thinner. The steering rack is smaller. It's definitely not meant for the hardcore off-road stuff that the earlier trucks are. And I'll go outright and say that. If you are to call me and say, I want to build a 2013 through 15 G550 or 63 into off-road with 35s, and you were to call me and say you want to do that same build with this, the older truck will outwheel and outperform these newer trucks every day of the week off-road. If you're 99% on-road and 1% off-road, this is where you want to live. If you're even 70-30, this is still a great option. Again, we have this as our shop truck because we are making stuff for it. We're making running boards, rock sliders, we are making front bumpers, rear bumpers. We are making this stuff for it so we can improve upon it, but one of the things we're all looking for is how do we improve the suspension setup on these trucks? And one of the things we're toying with right now is tubular control arms for the front end because that is a weak spot. Also, the steering rack is not super beefy. You've heard of all the horror stories with the Broncos having issues. We want to make sure we don't repeat that with these. So we're looking at some other options there. With that being said, it's still a great place to be. I like them. It's a huge technological leap forward ergonomically. You get cup holders. You have a box where you can put things, i.e. storage. You have space and things. So it kind of, it's nice. It's very refined. It's not for everybody. It's not my favorite, but it is really cool. And I wanted to take a minute to showcase this, as you'll probably will not see another G400 turbo diesel in the US unless somebody calls me and says, hey, I want one of those trucks. And then we'll have that conversation and we'll make it a reality for you to have a G400 turbo diesel that gets 20 plus miles per gallon. You can drive it anywhere and have a good time and really turn some heads while doing it too. So here's a super annoying thing on these trucks though, and I'm sure there's a few owners out there like, oh yeah, I know about that. It has its own lane departure warning. You're going to witness it. If I slowly drift off to one side, it jerks the brakes and pulls you back over. It doesn't steer you. It doesn't vibrate the wheel. It slams on the damn brakes. I've tried to defeat it through the systems and program it, but that's really annoying. That's the one quirk I don't like about it is you're driving along, mind your own business, you drift over a little bit like you're gonna merge and, you know, median surf it to make a turn, and all of a sudden you're like, and it stops you. Come on, we can do better. Anyway, that's my one gripe about this, is the lane departure thing is a little weird. I don't like it. So there we have it, our G400 turbo diesel 463A truck. If this is something that you're interested in, or you want one for yourself, this is where you get in touch with us. We know how to get these here, titled, registered, and in your driveway. But want to take you around it. Thanks for watching. As you see, it's an interesting truck. It's a work in progress. We will be doing different suspension, different accessories, running boards, things that's going to make it much more capable for the purpose that we use it for. It's a different truck, a different platform, but also shows that we support not only the older trucks, but the newer trucks also. I'm Joe Gocher, Alliance Auto Care, Loveland, Colorado. Get in touch if there's anything we can do for you.